It looks like there's been some progress on fishing rights. So now what becomes the big issue?
Well, Anne-Marie, that's what we hear, that we are close to a breakthrough on the fish. Remember, this was all about softening the blow after Brexit to fishermen in Europe, to the French fishermen, to the Belgians, to the Dutch, who are not going to be able to go deep into the UK waters. Now, what we understand is that we are moving close to a political landing zone for this that would see a transition period, maybe in the range of 5 to 7 years. Remember, the Europeans wanted 10. The UK had been pushing back. They wanted much less than that. And now we understand that we're moving close to a breakthrough on that. The big sticking point, however, continues to be that level playing field. And this is about the UK moving away from the EU standards, from the laws and regulations that set out the playbook here in the European Union. And ultimately, this is a question that the Prime Minister is going to have to ask himself to accept any deal. Does this actually pass the sovereignty test of Brexit? This was all about taking back control. This was all about setting up your own regulation. How much can you diverge, or how much could you politically move away from the EU regulations and make that okay to your own political audience? And that's where we understand is now the big sticking point, in fact, is the level playing field, not so much the fish anymore.
Okay, so what happens, Maria, in the next 24 hours? Because many were hopeful we would have seen a deal by this morning.
Right. And look, Anne-Marie, we did speak to some European officials yesterday who say that they do not believe there will be a deal approved by the next 24 hours. This is still very much the technical talks. But we do have Mr. Barnier at 7:30 a.m. Europe time briefing EU 27 ambassadors. It'll be interesting to see the reaction that we get from some European capitals, especially coming out from Paris, which has been the hardliner on this for the past 2 weeks. And then, of course, that very important phone call between Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, and Ursula von der Leyen happening late today that could signal whether or not there's momentum for a deal to be put to European leaders on Thursday, Friday. That's when they'll meet here in person in Brussels. That is still very much seen by the European side as a real deadline for any deal to come through. And again, just stressing this line, Marie, that ultimately this is a political decision. You can have a deal on the technical side, but if European leaders and the Prime Minister don't give this the green light, well, it's simply just not going to happen. And that is probably going to be at the end of the week.